Katie.
And I'm struggling. I'm Erin.
Her middle name is Erin. Or her middle name is Struggling.
Middle name is Erin. I go by my middle name.
There you go.
I'm Erin.
And you are listening to Ropedrop Parkhop. We're on the struggle bus today.
Oh, I love the library. I'm grateful for the library.
Too.
That's my affirmation for the day. I feel like we probably need to invest in our own, maybe in our own little recording studio.
Yes.
Because I can't deal with the microphones anymore.
I have a space for it in my house. The college kid is kicked out.
You're going to be almost an empty nester soon.
I know. I don't love it, but
66% empty nesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The middle kid just had a birthday this week, and he got towels and
Adult
bathroom
things.
stuff. Yes, for his birthday.
Because he's an adult now. You have 2 adult children.
I
You're
know.
old.
It's crazy.
You're super old.
I know, way old. So what does that make you?
I don't have adult children. It makes me much younger.
Okay, let's read a review. It is from our biggest fan. Thank you, our biggest fan, actually. It's the author is Love Your Podcast.
Cute.
The title is Your Biggest Fan.
So cute.
This is the best Disney podcast ever. I listen to this podcast all the time. I love it. P.S. Spot the difference. And then there's a bunch of cute smiley faces, and we're supposed to spot the difference in the
you
emojis.
spot it?
No. I'm looking right now, though.
Like there's one emoji
that's
something
different. Thank you for giving us a little brain game with your review. That was very thoughtful of you to keep our old brains in shape.
Yes, now that you know. And we read a review, last week or the week before, and we did get a message on Instagram that they're still around. So
Yay!
If you're still around, our biggest fan,
Yes.
come tell us that you're still around because we want to hear about it.
Let us know. Okay. We've got news.
Wait, did you ever find it? The
No.
difference? Oh,
My brain got tired. It's too old.
By the way, really quick, we got some feedback that our sound has been a little off.
We're
And
trying.
We're trying. This has just been interesting with the changes in the library. And this looks like the same mic as what you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned that they set up like a little corner with armchairs, which is lovely, and we are so grateful for that. But this mic that I'm using is the only one that is not hard set to something. It's the only one that's on a stand. And I still feel echoey.
It does sound a little bit echoey still. Why not? And we are not totally sure how to fix that. So just bear with us until we get our own podcast studio.
It's close. I feel like it's closer every day because we have, like I said, we've gotten feedback that our sound has been off, and we're trying to figure it out. We thought we kind of were doing better today, but as I've started talking, I'm like,
it is still a little bit echoey. I'm not sure what's going on.
Me either. And it's frustrating.
Yep.
So
we're sorry.
You get echoey, Erin.
That's your middle name. Okay. Let's talk about. Sorry, I'm scrolling back through. Well, first of all, happy Oogie Boogie Day. I know by the time you listen to this, it will have come and gone, but there may still be tickets left. We don't know. We don't know how it's going to go today. But Oogie Boogie tickets went on sale to the general public today at 9:45 Pacific time is when you can join the queue
from where we are.
And we are hopping on for a couple of clients and keeping our fingers crossed that all goes smoothly. Last year was a little bit more smooth than the year before, and it just gets a little bit better every year.
I've seen with magic key holders this week. I feel like it's gone pretty smoothly.
It seems like it. I haven't heard anything otherwise. So.
I have a client who's a magic key holder who went in yesterday, and she said 5 minutes had tickets. Yep. And it was a breeze and easy.
And they did sell out, but they only release a limited number of tickets for the magic key holders, so that's to be expected.
Oh, there's my alarm.
There's her alarm.
To tell me to get in and get my tickets. Good thing I said that.
So here we go.
My brain is old. It's not quite there yet. And we may pause this. There may be some little disconnected pause while we get in. We've got some clients that we're getting
hear it live.
And maybe ourselves. We talked this morning about, should we?
Maybe we could. It's hard to miss a year of it.
Right?
We always have FOMO when we do. Okay, so otherwise, and this, I don't understand this. There all of a sudden was like this breaking news alert that there will be a brand new Oogie Boogie Bash VIP tour this year. Guys, they had it last year, and so I don't really understand what's happening.
I don't either.
If they mean new, like they're offering something new within the VIP tour, but there definitely was an Oogie Boogie specific VIP tour offered last year, because I remember thinking about, because when we went on our little agency trip, I remember thinking like that would be fun for us to all pitch in and do that.
Well, and I remember having somebody who was like, is there no way to get tickets? And I remember suggesting,
oh yeah, this is the way.
This is the way. There are tickets available through the VIP tour, because this is the one VIP tour that includes your tickets.
Right.
It includes a hopper ticket per person for the day. You get the tour guide for, I think, 8 hours.
Something like that. I can look at the details.
It's 8 people. And it also includes your Oogie Boogie ticket for the night. And you get like expedited access to Villains Grove and a couple of different perks of it. It's a little bit more expensive, I think, than
a regular
typical
VIP
tour. I think, if I remember correctly. I feel like 8s. I feel like 8s are the numbers. So I know it's 8 people. I think it's 8 hours, and I think it might be $800 an hour.
Right. But it does include your park tickets, which a regular VIP tour doesn't normally,
Correct.
and the event tickets, which that's a pretty big value right there.
Totally.
I just don't understand why Disney themselves announced that it's a brand new VIP tour, and then every Disney news outlet ran with it too and said, exciting news, a brand new VIP tour. I don't understand it, but I don't know. If somebody out there knows what's going on, please reach out to us.
Maybe they've changed one thing.
Maybe there's an exclusive VIP tours Oogie Boogie Bash amenity. Is that the brand new thing?
Maybe.
Complimentary valet parking at the Grand Californian. Is that new?
No, I think that was their last time.
Guys, I came home from the happiest petri dish on earth once again with a virus, so bear with me. My voice is not great today. Okay. I really don't understand, but that's there if anybody wants to go and book that. I'm trying to think if they sold out last year. Who knows? Because this is the Mandela effect, right? Like maybe it wasn't actually there last year.
I don't think that they did.
Sell out?
Yeah, I don't think that they did. I feel like as we were getting closer to, and also this is VIP tours per day, right? These are probably available per day, and this is a high ticket item, and so I don't think that they did.
I wouldn't think so either. Okay. Tinkerbell has an opening date. We were talking about this while we were there. Whether Tinkerbell was open or not. And yeah, she's been closed for 9 months. I can't believe it's been that long.
I feel like it's been longer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't go back there very often.
It's been 83 years.
Pixie Hollow, so 87 years. Pirates of the Caribbean. We had a little discussion about this a couple of weeks ago. No longer offered in Lightning Lane. And we knew it was temporary because it's always been listed as temporary. And it was kind of probably Disney throwing a bone our way because so much was closed over there in that area for so long.
Yeah.
But now, no more Lightning Lane. And they took it off of Lightning Lane a couple of weeks ago, and people were kind of murmuring about whether it would go off permanently.
Yep. And
sure enough.
Which, I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like that line moves so quickly. When they put it on Lightning Lane, everybody complained that it was going to make the standby line longer. And I don't feel like it did necessarily.
Yeah.
When we only used Lightning Lane on it a couple of times, probably, in the last couple of years that it's been on there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, it's a quick moving line. It's a people eater. We've talked about this before. And so I'm not super stressed about it.
No.
But I just feel like it added a little bit of value to Lightning Lanes.
Sure.
And so.
But now that we've got Tiana and the Haunted Mansion back.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe they need to add Pooh to the Lightning Lanes now.
Yeah.
Do a little.
Oh, we have something to talk about with Pooh.
We have some Pooh to talk about.
We have some Pooh news.
Yes.
We'll talk about it later.
Yes. The new gates from Pixar Place into DCA are open. So they're finished with all gates now.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
I'm glad that they upgraded those, even though they only use them like 4 hours a day.
Right.
That was very nice of them.
Well, and maybe now that those automated gates, maybe they'll leave them open longer.
Maybe. That'd be nice.
If anybody's a D23 member, lucky you, because you can go sign up for an exclusive showing of the Walt Disney, the new animatronic show. And it'll be, I think it's the 18th, so it's
like
not
the day
opening
after it
day.
opens,
Yes,
yeah.
and it includes reserved seating for either Paint the Night or World of Color, the new World of Color. So go sign up for that. I don't know how much it is.
What would you choose?
Probably Paint the Night.
Same.
Yeah.
Although I loved World of Color.
Me too. If I'm doing a reserved for World of Color, though, I'd rather do the dessert party. And, oh, yes, I did see how much it was. It was like $72 per person or something like that, which seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, not
to
bad
me,
at all.
because you get to have a little chat with one of the Imagineers, too. He gives you a little behind-the-scenes
Which Imagineer?
chat. I can't remember his name. It wasn't anybody that I super recognized, though.
It may not be somebody we recognize, but maybe Tony Baxter or Bob Gurr will just show up.
Maybe.
You never know.
They'll just pop in.
Mm-hmm. They pop in all the time.
Let's see. Oh, executive creative producer Jeff Shaver Moskowitz.
Oh, Moskowitz?
Moskowitz, not Mouskowitz.
I was gonna
from
say.
Fievel, not Fievel. Okay. Oh, or Paint the Night and Wondrous Journeys at Disneyland this evening. that evening. Because you could do both.
Slide right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then for sure I would pick that one.
Yep, for sure.
Tickets
too.
are $75 plus a $3 processing fee, and they go on sale yesterday. They might be sold out.
Or last week when you're listening to
Right,
this.
right. There were other updates in the Soarin' around the world besides the Eiffel Tower. So, and also this makes a lot of sense from when we were there, and we'll talk about this more in our episode, but the line for Soarin' was decently long the whole time we were there, and we thought maybe because they had one concourse closed.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, they had one concourse closed at a time to update the scene. So when the one concourse opened, the other one shut down. So there was only one open while we were there.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, because that line was it was like at 100 minutes at one point while we were there. So the biggest change is the Eiffel Tower scene, but then the new seatbelt system. Did you notice that?
No.
So previously, there were those little red circle buttons
Yes.
to unlock your seatbelt. They updated them so that they're now like the regular buckle, like they are on all the other rides where it's attached.
Did you notice that?
I didn't.
I feel like there was a red button when we did it.
Well, it's got like the new, like there are pictures of it.
Huh. I don't remember that.
So,
but also I don't
anybody-
pay great attention to
right?
detail.
Well, and the little boy next to me was struggling with this, so I don't know that I paid that much attention to the seatbelt system anyway. Like he was
Right.
having to feed his through the belt on the front. Anyway, the rest of the theater had some light refurbishments as well. The movement mechanism on the gliders is a little more active than it was before. I didn't notice that.
I don't think I did either.
And the projector system is altered a little bit. And according to this article, it says it looks a little bit darker and blurrier than before, which doesn't sound like an improvement.
All right, we're both in the queue.
We are in the queue. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Here we go, kiddos. So today we're going to do some trip recap.
Yay.
I'm very
Some
excited.
more trip recap.
Some more trip recap. We already recapped some.
Yes.
So we're gonna
Hopefully you
recap-
enjoyed our live recording. And I'm
Yes.
sure the sound quality wasn't awesome on that one, but it was fun.
I had a friend who texted me and said, great, now I have Silly Symphony stuck in my head. So
Yay.
hopefully you
Good
loved it.
classical music.
We need to do that more often.
I
think it was
agree.
so
It
fun.
was fun and it was easy.
Yeah, so
But wait till you hear the backstory on that one. Stay tuned.
yeah, we'll tell you. Calling all Disney enthusiasts. Dreaming of a magical escape? Look no further than Mouse World Travel, your Disney vacation experts.
Whether you're enchanted by the magic of Disney parks, setting sail with Disney Cruise Line, embarking on an Adventures by Disney journey, or relaxing in paradise at Aulani, we've got you covered.
Our team of experts will craft the perfect getaway tailored just for you. From park tickets and dining reservations to exclusive perks and personalized itineraries.
Ready to make your dreams come true? Visit mouseworldtravel.com and tell them Ropedrop and Parkhop sent you.
Mouse World Travel, where your Disney adventure begins. I fixed my mic.
We think.
Maybe.
You'll have to let us know if it sounds better.
Better than the news segment because this feels better.
We turned up some decibels. I think that's what it is.
Something.
DCBs.
Something of the soundboard. I think it was DBs.
DBs.
Which-
Those are also decibels.
Yes, but that translates to another podcast I listen to, which is the true crime podcast called I Think Not. And they call their listeners DBs. It stands for down bees.
I see.
So
DB is an abbreviation for something else, too.
yes, it is. If anybody listens to I Think Not, there's your cross-contamination for the day.
Also, happy Stitch Day. Happy 626 Day.
Oh, it is 626 today. It's a friend of mine's birthday. I need to tell her happy birthday.
Cute.
We're sitting in the queue for Oogie Boogie still.
So we may have to pause here in the middle of our trip recap, but today we're going to talk about our DCA day.
Our DCA day.
Which included a podcast recording, which was last week's episode. It feels like podcast inception.
A podcast within a podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, we did record. Okay, and we have a background story.
Yes, from the recording. We'll just tell that first.
Yeah, let's talk about that and then we'll move on.
We sat down to record, as most of you will know, underneath the Silly Symphony swings on a little bench facing the jumping jellyfish and golden zephyr and all of that. Mm-hmm. It was a nice little quiet, shady spot. There was nobody around.
Yeah, we felt kind of secluded. On the water.
Sure enough, halfway through, a mom and her little boy walk up. And I don't know what was going on because we were kind of engrossed in what we were doing. We were holding mics. We were talking to each other. Like, you could obviously tell that we were in the middle of something. And we are sitting on this bench sort of facing each other.
And it's not a large bench.
No, and we're taking up pretty much the whole bench.
Right.
Well, this mom
like
decides that her son needs to sit down right there.
Next to Katie.
Right on my lap.
Mm-hmm. He needs to squish himself in between the end of the bench and Katie's hips.
And she's not talking quietly. And I just kind of scooched over a little bit, and Aaron and I are looking at each other like, what's going on? And she continues to talk to him quite loudly, and I don't know how you can't hear it on the recording.
We heard that you can't. One of our Patreons told us that he couldn't hear it because we told them.
Funny.
It was really funny, and it was awkward, which, I mean, it's fine. We don't own the bench, and we don't own that space, and whatever, totally fine.
But we kind of did because we were there first. But he was obviously uncomfortable.
He was super uncomfortable.
Yes.
He was probably like 8 years old.
Yes.
And he looked super, I'm still sounding tinny to myself, by the way, but he looked super uncomfortable. Like, he could tell that there was something going on. But she was just like, here, sit right here, sit right here. And she points to the spot, and Katie kind of looks over and scooches a little tiny bit over, and she's like, what do you need? What do you and just, oh my gosh.
It was just strange.
They didn't stay long. And I think part of the reason they didn't stay long is because he felt awkward, and he knew something.
So he hopped up.
Yeah. So anyway, if you caught that, it's just kind of a funny backstory.
It is. We got a good little giggle out of it. Okay, so we did not live up to our name.
No.
This trip.
Not at all.
We did not do any rope dropping. However, we did stay until closing all 3 nights, which is...
Including Pride Night.
Yes.
Which was 1 a.m.
That's different for us a little bit. Like, we always have grand intentions of staying until past closing, and one of us always fizzles out.
Like 10 o'clock. We're like, let's go back.
Yes,
I'm tired.
Yes. But we did not rope drop either of the days.
We showed up at about 9:30 both days.
Which actually turned out okay. So I know we always tell everybody, make sure you rope drop. That's the best time of the day to get there. It turned out okay for us. But I still absolutely recommend rope dropping. You can get so much done in those first 2 hours. However, if you have Lightning Lane multi-pass purchased, it can turn out okay for you.
Yeah, especially California Adventure. I might say the caveat to that is Disneyland. I feel like Disneyland is more important to rope drop.
Sure.
We had the benefit of going to Pride Night and getting a few rides done with low crowds that evening. And so we didn't feel the need to hit those on our Disneyland day, which we'll talk about next episode.
Right.
But DCA... it was easy, and DCA is the smaller park, right? Fewer attractions.
Yes, and we got everything done that we wanted to in DCA. It might have been nice to be able to do things twice, right? If we were on especially a rare trip, right? If it's your once in a lifetime trip or whatever, and you want to be able to repeat things, that's when rope dropping comes in handy because you can do shorter lines without lightning lanes.
Yeah, and I still stand by the idea that, it's great to get there early, get some things done, go take a break midday, and I'll tell you why we didn't do that in just a moment, and then come back and hit it hard for the evening.
Yes.
I tell my clients that most of the time, and that's typically what we do.
Right.
We're big fans of that. We stayed at a new hotel this time, which we stayed one night at the Hojo because we love the Hojo.
We do love the Hojo.
And we couldn't get a night at the Element where we stayed because it was sold out. But then we moved over to the Element for our last 2 nights. And how'd we feel about it?
It's a great hotel. I don't love the location. Other than that, I mean, like, it's fine.
Right.
I just don't love if you are somebody who likes to take a break midday. It felt a little bit prohibitive for that. Like, it was just a little bit too long of a walk to go back and forth more than once.
So I timed it. It was a 15-minute walk from the hotel to the security entrance on Harbor. And it's kind of a boring walk.
Yeah.
Like you walk along just an empty
Parking lot. Yes.
Yeah, the entire way. And so, midday to carve out a half an hour just for
Right.
back and forth to the hotel, in addition to whatever you want to take,
Right.
is hard.
They do have a free breakfast, which is nice. And I used the fitness room while I was there, which I really loved having that. That was nice for me on our non-park day. I got up and had a little walk on the treadmill, so I got my steps in. I did not love the pool area. I felt like that was a little bit underwhelming. Otherwise, what else? How else did you feel about the hotel? They have bike borrowing. They're not rentals, right?
Correct.
It doesn't cost anything. They have bikes that you can use.
You can check them out.
Supposedly there are bike racks. We know kind of the general area where they are, but we never did see them.
We never did find them because we looked it up after. But there are bike borrowings, and you can park under the Esplanade. One is inside security.
Okay, so you walk the bike through security. It's so funny. I've never seen anybody walk a bike through there.
There's probably not a lot of bike riders.
Probably
but one was
not.
one was outside of security under the monorail, and one was somewhere in security. I can't remember where exactly.
Gotcha.
But they give you a helmet, they give you a bike lock. So it's an option if you're wanting to bike back and forth to the parks.
Right.
We should have tried it. We talked about trying it. We did not try it.
I'm a little bike shy right now because of my
Your injury.
recent injuries.
These were not motorized bikes, though.
Right.
Not little dirt bikes.
Right.
These are pedal bikes.
It's more of a my wrist still hurts, so
Right.
riding a bike didn't sound awesome. And then we talked about schlepping our luggage also through security, which
You weren't a big fan of that
wasn't
idea
a big fan
either.
of that. Erin I think she was a little frustrated with me. I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that.
No,
I
not
don't
at all.
want to do that.
Not at all. And because I get it. And we talked to one of the security guards as we went through security and talked to him about, do people bring their suitcases through? Because it was so far away on our day that we left, we considered bringing suitcases with us. They have large lockers near the picnic area in the Esplanade that you can fit suitcases in. So I brought up the idea maybe we could just take our suitcases, tuck them in there, and then grab an Uber from downtown Disney, and take that to the airport instead of having to
Come all the way
walk the
back.
15 minutes back. We decided against it, which is fine because we ended up with plenty of time.
Right.
But we asked the security guard, and he kind of made a face.
Yeah, he had a little eye roll.
He kind of was like, yeah. He's like, we have to go through all of it, which we figured. And I was like, oh, so like skivvies? And he kind of was like, yeah. And he kind of made a little cringy face. So
I mean, you can do it.
It's possible.
It would just be a little bit obnoxious
for everybody.
Yes.
You too. Like, right? You don't want
your stuff
your
out
draws
on the table.
Right. So
With a million people waiting behind you. Because
Right.
think how long that would take for them to go through a whole suitcase.
it would take a minute.
Plus our backpacks. I mean, we had more than just suitcases.
Yeah.
And
I don't light pack.
Purses and
I am an overpacker.
I saw a funny meme the other day that said, just once I'd like my husband to say, wow, you really came prepared for this trip rather than telling me I'm an overpacker.
Right. Let's put the positive spin on it.
Yes.
I'm going to start saying that. I'm just
I'm
very
really prepared for this trip. I like it.
Back to the hotel. The pool's very small. They did have an outdoor barbecue area.
Yeah.
They have a couple of grills. So if you want to, it's a large area. Like it's a place where you could easily go out and grill yourself a dinner if you want to do that, if you're the type of person who grocery shops and makes meals at your hotel. Our room was awesome. Like
Size-wise, yes.
size-wise, our room was lovely. There wasn't a ton of storage.
Right.
Which, fine, whatever. I live out of my suitcase typically.
Right.
But we had 2 queen beds, and we had a large L-shaped sectional couch that converted into, I believe, a queen-size pull-out sofa. Plus, there was a small fridge with a freezer area and a small dishwasher, a microwave, a long countertop, a sink. The sink had filtered water in it. You tasted it. I didn't.
Yeah. I didn't have it with ice, so it was warm water,
Which is always
which is
gross.
not awesome.
Right.
But I don't remember thinking that it tasted terrible.
We talked about this at the hotel. We wish that the bathroom took like a quarter turn because the way
It's facing the beds.
yes, it's
So
a barn
it's
door,
right next to one of the beds.
but it seals. It's a sealed barn door, which was
Right.
nice. But yeah, when you open it, it was literally a foot to one of the queen beds. We wish that they quarter turned that and had the door opening toward the kitchen area
Right.
instead of the bed. But
And also no
Small.
fan in the bathroom.
No fan
Which-
in the bathroom.
Really interesting.
Super interesting. They
Yeah.
had makeup wipes and makeup
Yes.
washcloths, which I
Yes.
kind of love. So that's nice.
That was nice.
I just jumped back up to more than an hour.
Nice. Did you mention the little tiny dishwasher? Because that was kind of fun. The dishwasher drawer.
The little tiny dishwasher is really cute. It looked not much bigger than a microwave.
Oh, yeah.
And then you
That's
open
what
it
we
and it
thought it
just
was,
has
is
a
a
little
microwave.
tray that comes out. And
Yeah.
that's where you can put
So
dishes.
you don't have to hand wash if you use dishes. You can just throw them in the drawer.
So cute. What else? It's newer. It's a newer hotel.
Yeah.
So it feels newer. It feels clean.
It's a Marriott, so you could use points on it if you needed to or if you wanted to. And
It's right next to the freeway, and we could hear freeway noise. Did you hear it at night?
I don't think so.
I don't think
this
I
is
really
one of those
did
trips
either.
though, where I was so tired.
Right.
Each night we were up so late that I think I just slept pretty hard.
Yeah. I don't think I paid much attention to it. What else?
What else?
I mean, that's it. The breakfast was great. Each morning, something different.
Yeah, they had like
And-
breakfast tostadas the first morning, which that's totally different.
That was my favorite of the three. They had pancakes one morning. They had
okay.
French toast one morning.
nice.
They had quite a few gluten-free options. I'm talking with a client right now about this. They had quite a few gluten-free, labeled gluten-free. They had some gluten-free bagels that were wrapped individually that you could grab. And so if you do have a gluten sensitivity, there were options for you there.
Yep. And I feel like the rooms were big enough, you could throw a pack and play or two in there if you needed to. So this is, one of the options where if you have a bigger family and want to spread out a little bit more, it would be a great spot for you.
And aside from the bike rentals, it is on an art route. And so if you don't want to walk that 15 minutes, which is not terrible, and like it wasn't a terrible walk.
No, not at all.
It's just 15 minutes.
Right.
It's longer than being directly across the street. And we are used to being right across the street. We often stay right there.
Yes. We're spoiled.
We are a little spoiled. And I was talking to Katie about how my favorite hotel prior to starting this podcast was a couple of miles away. And we would take the bus. And I was like, we need to do that. We need to stay farther away and have that experience so we can talk about it. This was kind of that mid-level, right? A little bit longer walk if you're okay with it.
Yep.
But there is an art bus that you can grab and you can take to the parks also.
Yeah. I think it's just hard once you've stayed that close to property to go back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It is a luxury to stay right across the street.
Yep.
It's very nice to do that. And
I don't think there are a few hotels at a much lower price point that are a little bit farther away, but I feel like all of those hotels, even the ones that are 15 to 20 minute walk, are pretty comparable price wise to the ones, not the ones right across the street,
Right.
but the ones that are about an 8-minute walk.
okay.
So
So half the walk.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd stay again. I don't have a problem with it. The walk is long, so I would stay again knowing,
Right.
preparing myself for
Right.
having that little bit of a longer walk.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was great. It was a good experience to have.
And I will say this, if you're traveling and you're questioning, walking through downtown Anaheim at night, we didn't feel unsafe. It's
No.
not a very...
It's well lit.
It's well lit.
You're walking right next to the garden walk area, which is a pretty happening place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thumping music going on.
And we didn't ever feel uncomfortable or unsafe or
No,
anything like that.
For sure, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the
let's
parks.
Talk about the parks that we did not rope drop.
Which, it was fine. We didn't need to. Oh, first we got to experience the new gates
Yes.
through the entrance.
Which we did that Pride night too. So it wasn't like our first trip through. But
Right.
we had we had our Pride night tickets and then we had 2 one-day tickets. So we had to have our picture retaken each time.
Yes.
If you have a multi-day ticket, you'll only have to have your picture taken that first time and then it will recognize you the other 2 times you scan in.
Which is so nice.
Or if you have a magic key.
And I felt like it was pretty quick and easy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The one thing
few
that I
people
think is a
struggled.
little weird, and we'll give you the heads up on this, you are in charge of taking your own photo. So we've
have to
done this
push a
at
button.
Universal before, and once your face is in the frame, it automatically grabs that photo. Disney does not do that. So you'll scan your magic band, and then the screen will pop up with an oval, like a magic mirror, magic mirror on the wall.
Yep.
And you will align your face to it. And when you're happy with where your face is and you are in that oval, you tap the screen. There's a camera. You tap the screen, and that's what takes your photo. So it's interesting to me because that was actually what I noticed in line was the biggest problem.
Yes. And one of the cast members, one time we were going through, had to keep saying to the guy, don't smile so big. Stop smiling. Don't smile. Because I think that when he had taken his first picture, he wasn't smiling. And then he was trying to smile in the subsequent
And it wasn't
facial recognition. And it was like, no.
That's funny.
Stop smiling. Stop being happy.
And I also heard frequently, push the photo. You need to, and that seems like something that the cast members just kept saying over and over again, is that it's not intuitive that we have to take our own photo.
Right.
They thought either the cast member was in charge of it or would automatically take that.
Maybe that's something they'll tweak along the way.
Hopefully.
And I think it'll just take some time to get people trained how to use these, and it'll be just as smooth as it was before.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it made the line go any quicker than the other way.
And maybe it will eventually when people are more comfortable with it.
It was kind of nice because wheelchairs, strollers, all of that can just go through the regular line now instead of having to go down the middle like they did before, which meant that if someone was having an issue, they could step to the middle to have a cast member come and talk to them about what was going on, like whether they didn't have the right reservations for the day or whatever, where before that would kind of just clog up the line.
Right.
Everybody would just have to wait behind them until they got their issue solved. So that was kind of a nice change, I think.
So overall, net positive.
I think so.
I agree. Okay, so then we did rope drop. Well, we stopped in the Animation Academy. We stopped in Off the Page. Just kind of wandered in because we had a few minutes to kill before a lightning lane for Guardians. We rode Guardians first. We did not get Jackson 5. Very sad.
Nope. No, 0 times did we get Jackson 5.
0 times. We got the same song both times. Which what did you hear?
Oh, when you get to the top and Rocket says Disneyland, that's thematically inconsistent. Which I've heard him say that before, but I was trying to remember if it's just on that sequence or if it's on all. I don't think he does say it on all of them.
Was it Free Ride? Is that what it was?
Born to be Wild.
Born to be
Wild.
Wild.
What we got,
so anyone who's going, if you're listening,
let us know. Pay attention.
Pay attention at the photo. And then we got off and we went over and, of course, rode Monsters, Inc. because we have to ride it at least one last time.
Yes.
Well, at this point, it was maybe the one last time.
There may be other trips in the works.
Somebody is going next week, but at that point, that was not a thing for her.
Yeah. So
we rode Monsters,
we'll talk
Inc.
about that later. But
40-minute wait. We've talked about the buddy pass before. We grabbed a buddy pass. We waited 3 minutes.
So nice. Hopped right on a taxi.
Hopped right in.
And rode through Monstropolis.
There was a 2319.
Yes.
It was very scary.
Roz gave us a debriefing at the end, and we were good to go. And where did we go next?
After that, I don't know. We just walked around, it looks like.
We wandered. We had tacos.
We did have tacos. Did we ride? Oh, we rode Soarin' between. Oh, we stopped. Okay. Here's what my next pictures are. We stopped and watched the geysers at.
Oh, yeah.
At Grizzly River, which this was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Grizzly River was running.
It was running hard.
People were getting soaked.
Yes.
These geysers, there's 3. Never mind just one. There's 3. And they are all running really big. And it was hilarious. And we had a great time watching.
Funny.
By the afternoon, Grizzly River was drained.
Yeah. And it wasn't up the rest of the day. I wonder if it was up the next day.
I don't know.
I forgot to check.
I did too. But it was weird to me that it was running and it was running well. And then all of a sudden it was not.
And then it was gone.
It was gone.
I think they ran the geysers too hard. They drained all the water out.
People were too soaked. Anyway, then we went and did Soarin'. We got to see the new Eiffel Tower.
And the new seatbelts, apparently, that we didn't notice.
I don't know if I believe it. So, okay, interesting thought. We sat on the very end. Did you mention this in our news?
No.
We sat on the very left end, the farthest you could be. We had the very end seat and then the one right next to it. So we were like, perfect, this will be great. Things are still a little curvy. The Taj Mahal's a little curvy. The Eiffel Tower is a tiny bit curvy. I mean, it's from a distance instead of being right on top of it.
Monument Valley is still very curvy.
Monument Valley is still a little curvy. So, I mean, it is still a little bit, you're not going to see if you're not in that center. So I still say, if you can wait, or if you have a minute and it's not crazy busy or whatever, and you want that center area, do it. It's a better experience. I got a little woozy.
Did ya?
And I don't usually on Soarin' Around the World. Soarin' over California makes me woozy.
Well, and I wonder if that lends into what that article said about it being a little bit blurrier than before, too.
Maybe. Because
that's part of what bothers you about the California version is that it's a little bit blurrier.
Yep.
So I'm at 13 minutes.
Oh, I'm at 30-something.
Nice.
I am at 37 on one account and 32 on the other. So we'll see. Anyway, this was the first time I've noticed it, and I wasn't sure if it was because we were so far to the left and on that edge, or if I was dehydrated, or if it was something more than that. But this is the first time in a minute that I've noticed that I was just like, ooh, I had to kind of close my eyes for just a second.
Bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't usually feel it there.
Well, I'm glad that we got Soren out of the way early, because for the rest of the day, the wait was, like we mentioned before, super, super long. And that's because they only have one bay open right now. One concourse.
One concourse. It would be nice if they would put California
on one side.
The next picture that I have on my in my photos, is the picture of one of the new merch items that they have for the 70th anniversary. It is bubble wands, which we love bubble wands. Yeah. And Dan and Jordan over at Disneyland Forever hate them because they hate happiness.
Yes.
But we love them.
I know. They bring so much joy and happiness.
They do. And if you don't love happiness, fine.
It doesn't matter where or when I see them, I have to yell, "Bubbles!"
Do you really?
Just like that every time I say, "Bubbles!"
I don't think I noticed that.
Oh, yep.
And I mean, we sat and watched the parade one night, and I was eating ice cream, and there was someone near us that had bubbles. And yeah, you have to kind of pay attention and hope that they don't get in your food. But
it's not going to hurt anything.
No, and it's so cute, and I love them so much. And anyway, they have new bubble wands, which I love also so much, because previously they had pretty much 2 selections. Well, 3. They had Olaf for a minute, didn't they? But they have a Mickey Mouse and they have an Ariel. Well, now they have build your own bubble wand.
So cute. I love customizable things.
I do too. Fun. And so the bubble wand is super cute. And then there is a Stitch topper. There is a Donald Duck topper, a Goofy topper, a Mickey topper, and a Minnie topper that you can choose to customize your wand. It's a 70th anniversary bubble wand.
It's very cute.
So buy all the bubble wands.
Right.
Fill Disneyland with bubbles. Some people don't love them. It's fine. You don't have to.
Right.
And then we got our old Stand By Beeria.
Yes.
Delicious.
That's so good.
Very meaty this time.
It was.
Yeah.
Extra meat.
Super meaty. And then we went and rode Toy Story. And we discussed this a little bit because Katie was broken. And she wasn't sure she could do well. She did fine.
I did all right.
I beat her because she has a broken hand. Yeah. I think that's really it.
We'll say that.
Had she not had a broken hand, she probably would have obliterated me, yes. But it was fun.
The new 70th stuff was fun on that. You get extra points for hitting the targets that have 70th on them, because it changes the target from 1,000 to 7,000 or whatever.
Right.
So you can score pretty high in this new version, which is fun. There's actual physical 70th stickers plastered all over inside the when you're not on the screens. I don't know how to, like, on the actual walls. And then there's like sticker sheets where the stickers are missing, which is super, super cute theming. Good job,
very
Disney.
Cute. Here's what I didn't understand and what kind of ticked me off. I'm not sure that they have updated their system all the way through with the new scoring. Yeah. So Katie got 201,000. I had 240,000. The best in vehicle was 171,000.
Right. So it didn't count up your extra 70th
I'm wondering
points.
if it didn't count up the extra 70th anniversary points. I'm sure it was me.
Yeah. We should ask Joey if he knows.
Joey, are you out there? I don't want to talk to Joey about this. He won't share his tips and tricks, and it makes me very sad.
He's a gatekeeper.
He is a gatekeeper. And then we went down into Pixar Pier. Incredicoaster was down.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it was up.
And so we hopped in a short queue.
Yeah, super short.
It piled up right behind us. It got pretty long really fast because there were a lot of people waiting for it to be up. It had been down most of the day, I think.
I think so, too. Here's a tip for that. If you notice that it's down and they're testing it and you think that they're going to start bringing it back up, there is that courtyard area outside of the queue for Incredicoaster. They are not going to put you directly into the queue when they reopen it.
No. You'll feed in kind of by where the single rider line piles up out there on the side.
Which we didn't know. And so we were kind of hanging out in that courtyard, and then all of a sudden we started to see the queue forming up the hill a little bit, and we went and got into it. And it was still really a quick wait. It was maybe 10-minute wait.
Yeah.
And
most of that was walking time.
Yes, exactly.
It moved the entire time.
But they're not going to let you straight into the queue. They're going to have you queue up the hill and then feed you into the queue, which makes more sense.
Yeah,
it worked
it's actually
out really
very
well.
Smart because otherwise they'd have a mad rush and people would get crushed and trampled. So yeah, it worked out great.
It worked out great. It was a lot of fun, and it's a fun ride, and I love it so much. So we got to ride it. Yay!
Yay!
And then we went and recorded our podcast episode. That was fun. Then we caught the Better Together parade.
Yes.
This was not high on my list of priorities.
Right. And I've kind of seen it in passing. Last summer, I saw it a little bit. Mm-hmm. We didn't actually sit and watch it last year. We just kind of caught pieces of it here and there as we were walking around. It's actually very, very cute.
It is really cute.
Super catchy music. The Four Town guys on the Turning Red float, amazing.
Like I have a crush on all the Four Town guys.
They were so cute.
They were so cute.
So cute. We had a cute little cast member. We were trying to stand to watch the parade on the Little Mermaid side of the street, and apparently that's not allowed because they have to keep a corridor open for a walkway.
It is allowed in portions.
Right. If you notice a taped off area, you can stand in that. But where we were kind of like trying to sit on the curb and have this like best spot ever. And she was like, just so you know, you're going to have to move in a few minutes. Anyway, she was super nice and chatted with us. And there were cast members, PhotoPass photographers walking around with cute little signs that were they just 70th signs, I think?
Maybe.
I don't think they were Pick Better Together themed signs. I think they were just 70th anniversary signs, which so cute anyway. But yeah, so you could get your picture taken while you were waiting for the parade, which was nice. Yes. And yeah, then we moved over to the other side of the street for the parade to start. It's very, very cute. Highly recommend.
Super cute parade. I was super glad that we just happened upon it and we were able to watch, even though that wasn't something that was a major priority for us. We did some shopping. We wandered around for a little bit.
And then we needed a break because we'd worked so hard. What else did we do?
We went and rode Ariel.
Okay.
We went and checked out the closed pathway between Cars Land and
Avengers Campus.
Yes, and I'm sad.
I am too. I'm going to miss it. And it's going to be gone for a long time.
Yep.
Closed for a long, long time.
But it is what it is. Then we had a multiple experience pass because we'd grabbed Web Slingers. Web Slingers went down, so we went and used that on Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
And rode Guardians the second time. Got the same stinking song.
Same song.
And then we needed a break.
Then we needed a break.
We were exhausted.
Yes. And it was almost time for dinner. So we'd
worked hard.
Ducked into the Grand Californian, found 2 spots by the fire, and hung out while we waited for our friend to show up and meet us for Donald's dinner.
Donald's Tales of Adventure dinner at Storytellers. We got to try that. We were super excited. That was a priority for us this time.
And it was very, very cute.
So cute. Okay. I didn't have children, so character meal, fine.
Right.
We never saw Donald. Like, never.
We saw him just at a distance.
Right, at a distance. He never made it to our table. And we were there for quite a while.
Yeah. Always, if that happens, you can always ask a cast member to have them come over to your table. We just were like, we're adults at a character dinner, and that always feels a little awkward.
Favorite.
I know. But we did get Clarabelle, and she was so cute.
We got Clarabelle.
Daisy? Did Daisy come over?
I don't remember.
Pluto did for sure. Pluto was awesome, too.
Also, if you are a childless anything like ourselves, the table next to us had kids. They were terrified of these poor critters and crying and screaming. And anyway, you're going to have crying kids around you. It's fine. It was totally fine.
There were also plenty of tables of just adults, too. So don't ever feel like super awkward about it. It's still really fun.
Yes, it was super fun. The food was great. Really good. They had prime rib. They had salmon. They had shrimp.
Was it turkey? Yeah, they had turkey at the carving station. They had a fun little charcuterie set up on the sideboard and lots of yummy desserts. And our favorite thing were the little cornbread muffins.
And they
ran out.
They ran out and took them away.
It's my turn. Can we pause for a second?
Yep. We paused for just a moment.
So where were we? We were talking about dinner with Donald.
But the good news is we got everybody tickets. Yeah. Well,
everybody that needed them.
When I say we, I mean we had us on computers and our clients on computers. Some were gotten by us, some were not. Some were gotten by clients. But we also made this really rash decision that we're going to Oogie Boogie Bash.
Yay. Content.
We bought our own tickets while we were in there, which I don't think I woke up with plans to go to Oogie Boogie Bash.
No,
so
me neither.
Here we are every year.
But here we go.
We just talk ourselves into things.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, we were talking about Donald's Tales of Adventure.
It's because we didn't get to spend enough time with Donald at Donald's Tales of Adventure, so we got to go back and find Donald at Oogie Boogie Bash instead.
You're going back next week. You're going to see him then. You're going to see him plenty next week.
Plenty of Donald.
Yes, we'll have plenty of Donald. So anyway, cute dinner. How much was it? 60 something?
I don't remember.
I believe
But
it's
yeah.
60 something a person. And I mean, it's prime. You get prime rib. They had really good options for food.
I thought it was great.
Yes, and it comes with drinks.
Everything
and so,
was
like,
yummy.
I got hot chocolate. You got hot chocolate because we were cold.
And a Coke Zero.
And a Coke Zero. Anyway, it was a great
I thought
option.
it was worth it. And it's nice to have a character dinner besides Goofy's Kitchen, which Goofy's Kitchen is cute and fun and the characters are nice. I've never really enjoyed the food there as much.
No, and it's far away. So, like, if you're in the park and you want to dip out and do a quick character meal, this is a great option without having to schlep yourself all the way down to the Disneyland Hotel.
Right. And we had our good friend Sumit there with us, which was really, really lovely. We always love hanging out with him. He's always so sweet to drive up and hang out with us for a couple of hours.
From San Diego.
All the way from San Diego.
And then the three of us went and found a spot to watch World of Color. What's it called?
Happiness.
Is that it?
Yeah,
World of
that's
Color
right.
Happiness?
And we walked up right as show was about to start, which means
were missing the pre-show.
We missed the pre-show, so we'll have to go back and watch that again in August
When we
right?
go, yeah. What's his name?
Legal Weasel. Joe the
Joe
Legal
from
Weasel.
Legal? Joe from Legal?
Yes.
He starts it out with all of the disclaimers. How did you feel about this new World of Color?
I loved it.
I loved it.
We had some people in front of us that were a little bit obnoxious with throwing kids on their shoulders and stepping in front of us, and so it was fine. I mean, we walked up last minute. It's not like we
were at the
staked
very
out
back.
a spot, right? It's not like we'd been waiting for an hour and had a special spot.
But also, if you are not at the very back, don't put kids on your shoulders. I was actually really frustrated with the guy in front of me who held his phone up in the air.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to watch this through your phone. I want to
Right.
watch it with my eyes. And so if you're a recording person, which we are, right? Don't hold your phone up above your head. Like, hold it at your chest level and keep it kind of out of sight of the people behind you. If you can,
Yeah.
Or if you can't, go to the back. Be in the very back.
Right.
Because it's so
Or
frustrating.
Here's my tip: don't record it. Nobody wants to watch your recording of it later.
Probably true.
Unless you're, posting
Creating content,
Yes,
right.
unless you're getting content, which maybe some of these people are. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I
but-
tried really hard, which we'll recap Disneyland next week. But I tried really hard to be in the moment, like especially for Paint the Night.
Yeah.
And not pay as much attention to my recording because I
Yeah.
wanted to see it and be there. But it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard when you're trying to do that. And I think the guy who had the phone, he was doing a live. And so I think he was some sort of content creator. But he held his phone up high and
Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, and I was just like, I wanted to tap him on the shoulder and be like, could you just put it down a little bit? And then, someone walked up in front and just move to the very back. Put your kid on your shoulders. That's fine. And we were toward the back.
Yeah.
Step 5 feet back.
Yeah.
Your view's not going to be worse. And then you're not going to block the people behind you.
Right. Yeah.
But I loved
just
it.
be aware of the people around you is really the bottom line.
I loved it. I think this is one of my new favorites.
It's so good.
It's really cute.
Yes, I do think that I missed the Star Wars and Marvel elements from World of Color 1. I thought those were the best additions ever.
I agree.
And just
But there's a great edition of Powerline
I got the chills and I got a little teary
with
in this one.
You did?
Yeah. Just
It's
all of
cute.
it. It's very cute. It's very well done. I did feel like, and it might have just been the angle that we were standing at, the screens were a little bit blurrier than normal. Like, I knew what was going on because I know those Disney movies inside and out, but inside out, see what I did there. But I didn't feel like they were as sharp as they have been before.
Right.
And again, that might be just because we were kind of over to the side a tiny bit and not straight on. Not sure. But it's very good. You will get a little misted.
Oh, we totally.
And we were way at the very back, so be prepared for that. There are still some fire elements, which is really fun. The giant fireball goes up.
Yes. And kind of piggybacking off of what you said being on the side, I felt like it was more colors than scenes with this one.
Sure.
'Cause
And
I feel like-
maybe that's how I felt.
Yeah. Like, I feel like in the past, there have been lots of actual scenes that you're very able to grab onto and know what it. And this one just felt more colorful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe so.
It's very cute.
There is an opportunity for you to scan a QR code before the show starts to vote for your favorite emotion to be featured in the show. But we have asked around and nobody seems to know where the feature happens.
We
So
chatted
if
with our
you
buddies
know-
from Where in the Park, and we kind of talked to them about this too. And she was saying how she didn't understand it, and we hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, oh, maybe once I see it, I'll understand. I still didn't.
No.
I don't understand how
I feel like all the emotions are in it
equally.
So, I wonder, is it before the show starts, maybe during the pre-show?
I don't know.
That they're featured? Because we did miss that.
We did miss that. We could hear it as we were walking from Storytellers, but I don't know. So if you partake in that and participate, let us know how that works.
Yeah,
if you are able to figure it out. You know what I miss? I miss them including the fun wheel.
That was fun.
Yes, being
Where
able
you could
to
control it.
play the trivia, control the fun wheel. I never got to, but I missed that being a thing. I like the interactivity of it.
Our magic bands did some really cool light up stuff during the show, though. That was fun. And then so we went to the early show and then started to exit the park and ended up being able to see the cute new little projection show on Carthay Circle, which is very, very cute.
So cute.
And the twinkly lights in the trees around that Buena Vista area are very cute. Anyway, Sumit tried the celebration churro for us because we're not into sprinkles, but he is. And he liked it.
He's a big fan of sprinkles.
He said it was good.
And he said it was good.
There's your review.
A little too sweet for me, maybe.
Yeah.
But he liked it. And I think that was it for our DCA day. Then we took our 15-minute walk back to our hotel, went to bed.
Yep.
And then next week we'll tell you about our Disneyland day because there's lots to know there too.
Lots to tell about Disneyland.
Yeah. So
I had a great day at DCA.
I did
How
too.
How about you?
It was very sunny. It wasn't crazy hot.
No, I thought our weather was perfect. We were low 80s, high
But it was
70s all week.
sunny.
Yes, when you're out in the sun, it is a little bit intense, but
Is a little, and you can't find. It's hard. DCA is hard to find shade at. There's not as much shade there.
right.
So here's a tip. One of my favorite parts of the day was when we walked up back behind Grizzly River. It's nice and shady back there. You get a little mist from the water. It's cool. It's
As
a great
long as
place
it's running.
to. Yes, yes. I think the big water runs. It doesn't.
Probably. Well, maybe. I don't know. It gets pretty quiet over there when they turn off the ride, so I don't know if they turn off those falls too or not.
I don't know. But it's a great place to take a little break, and it's a great place to take your kids if they need to get some wiggles out and run around. It's that back path behind Grizzly River. So if
And
you're
I would
looking
say-
at the water wheel, take a right.
And speaking of getting your kids getting their wiggles out, the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail is a pretty shaded area too,
Yeah.
and there are lots of benches for parents to sit on while their kids run around
And
so,
eat.
So there's
Yeah.
another good spot. Or Animation Academy, we always put in a plug for Animation
I love the
Academy.
Animation Academy so much.
We were going to go and draw Glorden from
Glorden.
Elio, but we did not. But just know that they have some new characters in the Animation Academy for you to
Including
draw.
Glorden.
Glorden. He's adorable. It's a little glowworm or
If you
something.
get another French bulldog, will you name it Glorden?
I think so.
Okay,
I think it will
perfect.
have to happen.
All right, this is
Guys.
your weekly reminder.
To follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Ropedrop.Parkhop and go join our fun discussion group on Facebook, Rope Dropping and Park Hopping. We've got so many fun people in there. I love
agree.
that group.
I do
It's
too.
just amazing.
And it's small, which is kind of nice. There are some really big Disney groups that have big Disney group problems. We don't have that. We have
don't.
nice people who help each other out and who answer questions earnestly.
Yes.
Don't make fun of each other. Don't laugh, react to things.
Yeah.
It's a great group. So come join us there. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast already, hit subscribe. Please leave us a review. We appreciate them so much. They help us hit the algorithm and show up on other people's searches. And then join us on the Patreon.
Yes, please. We have a lot of fun there too.
We do.
All right. We will see you next week.
Bye.